The following poem was written to address the gluttonous and food-centric lifestyle that Americans embrace, and it's to also give notice to the medical industry and the diet industry, which has cruelly and greedily exploited the obesity epidemic that's going on in this country. They don't want to end it. They're making money off it, so this is how it's going to go. Also, the food companies are a big part of the problem. So here's the poem. I hope you enjoy it because it's going to piss you off. The outlook isn't brilliant for Americans today. 3/4 are fat or obese. I am sad to say. To doctors and weight loss gurus, it's a money-making game. All they offer fat folks is more of the silly same. A waddling herd goes to McDonald's. The rest cling to a hope that springs eternal in a Kentucky Fried Chicken breast. They thought if only America could get their metabolisms out of whack, we could make a lot of money on an Atkins-style quack. But Atkins died a big fat pig, a charlatan and fake, and Jenny Craig says it's okay to eat a lot of cake. So upon that stricken multitude of lemmings oh so fat, comes Dr. Phil without a pill, but a major bastard rat. Though Dr. Phil paid huge fines to the FCC, his books get published by Slyman and Shyster, another bunch of crooks. And the lemmings read his books. They continue to get fat. I bet they need another book. Do you think it might be that? 400,000 Americans this year will see an early grave simply because when it comes to food, they choose not to behave. They waddle to the doctor to get their insulin. Fatty pays a fortune, and Big Pharma cashes in. There is this sleaze in a doctor's manner because he knows his place is to rip off the patient's insurance company and put a smile on his face. Shh! Responding to jeers, the doctor says, "Your reaction is quite odd." MD stands for me deity. In other words, I'm God. Now on insulin and statin drugs, the fatty enjoys all food. But don't be late with his dinner plate. It may affect his mood. He'll say that he's not too fat. He's happy to report. He tells the world he can't wipe his ass because his arms are just too short. Walking to the parking lot, he'll wheeze and gasp for air, knowing that the paramedics can quickly be right there. Close by, a Gold's Gym beckons to the healthy and the fit. "That's not my style," said Fatty. "I'd really rather eat and sit." But from the realm of reality comes a sane and sober voice, that's me, that says being fat, sick, and gluttonous really is a choice.
Yes.
We are not made fat by our genes or the stress that comes with life. And it's okay to complain about your fat and lazy wife. Perhaps this trend towards obesity could be a moral failing, a symptom of society that is weak and sick and ailing. Ask a fatty why he's fat, he will tell a lie. Ask him if he eats too much, that's something he'll deny. "Fraud!" cries a maddened voice. An echo answers fraud. One scornful look from Fatty, and the audience was awed. How dare anyone imply it's my fault? An angry Fatty roared. "I eat because I'm hungry, and I eat because I'm bored." A sneer has fled from Fatty's lip. The teeth are clenched with hate. He pounds with cruel violence his fork upon the dinner plate. And now the waiter holds a tray, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Fatty's mighty blow. Somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing and little children shout. But there's no joy in Fatland. Mighty Fatty's heart crapped out. This probably angered you. And I think that's the point, because you should be angry, but you shouldn't be angry at me. You should be angry at yourselves. First of all, for remaining ignorant. You know, it's interesting how I go onto diet forums and I read the crap you fat people write. It's pretty disgusting and pretty stupid and pretty ignorant and actually very laughable, because you remain blissfully ignorant. And that is your addiction to food talking. And, the other thing is very interesting. What you do is you self-sabotage and you sabotage others with your bullshit advice. Kind of like the fat girl who works in the office who brings in food so she won't be the fattest one there. That kind of thing. You troll without you even knowing you're trolling. The other thing I noticed is that the people who are successful, the very small percentage of people who are successful, have done it not for themselves as much as for their spouse, their children, and for society in general, and for wanting to be a good citizen and wanting to behave in a mature and responsible manner, which is something you're not doing. You can get mad, in fact, get mad and start running around. That might help you. But basically, when people look at you, particularly, lean, fit people who eat responsibly, they really view you with contempt. They won't say it because of our politically correct times. But people look at you and they see your behavior in the fact that you're a fat ass. They see a fat person, they go, well, yeah, this person's a glutton. This person's probably lazy. You may not be that lazy, but you're certainly a glutton, because the cause of obesity is not a slow metabolism, which you're going to try to say. You're going to lie your ass off, or you're going to come up with something you try to convince yourself to believe. But the fact is, the most of metabolism, not your metabolism, but metabolism in general can vary, is about 35 calories a day. This is in people of the same age, weight, and gender. Okay, so a person who's really fat has a very, very fast metabolism, very high metabolism, because they're fat and their body has to maintain that fat, or body tries to maintain that fat, and it does, so they eat more. But you don't have a slow metabolic rate. Some people do, but it's not that slow. It's only going to be by 35 calories a day. That is usually caused by a thyroid problem, which is easily fixed. A doctor will put you on thyroid medication like Armour, which is the best one, or Synthroid, and that takes care of that excuse. You don't have a slow metabolism. Very few people have slow metabolic rate. Your diabetes is not why you're fat. The reason you have diabetes is because you're fat and because you eat like a pig. You don't eat in a mindful manner, and you don't eat in a responsible manner. You are part of a food-centric society. You are part of a food-centric society, and you have a food-centric mindset. You don't eat to live. You live to eat. And that's evident by what you put in your shopping cart, by the fact that you go out to dinner way too much and you order way too much food and you eat like a pig. Okay? You're a pig. Okay? You behave like a pig. A pig will eat until the food is gone. And so will you. So if somebody calls you a pig, it may be a pejorative, but it's the truth. It pretty much accurately describes the way you behave. You're a pig, okay? You are a pig. And you become a pig, not totally because it's a complete moral failing on your part, which it is, but there's more to it than that. You had a lot of help getting fat. The medical industry, the food industry, and the diet industry is exploiting you because you are a fool and a lemming, okay? If you're fat, you are a fool and a lemming. And they help you with your self-delusion. They help you with the lies and, I'm being fat shamed. Yes, you are being fat shamed because your behavior is shameful. People in Asian countries get shamed. And guess what? Not too many fat people in Asian countries. You did this to yourself with a lot of help from the American capitalist society that decides, oh, good, we can make money off of this. We can keep them fat. They'll eat more. That's right. You eat more because you're fat. It's very simple. And I'll put it to you this way. You're fat because you eat too much, and you eat too much because you're fat. The only person that's going to help you with this, besides me, is you. That's right. The doctor isn't going to help you. The doctor is going to offer you weight loss surgery, which kills 6% of the men who get it, and about 2% of the women that get it. They die because of the surgery within the first 30 days, and then they have a life of hell with doctor visit after doctor visits. So they're going to do that, and you're not going to enjoy the thing you love the most, which is food. And what we're going to teach you how to do is to re-educate your palate. We're going to teach you how to eat responsibly, how to make it so you don't have the cravings, so that you are not... You know, it's very interesting. You fat girls, particularly, you fat girls, I don't call you women because you're girls, because you don't behave like women, you don't behave like adults. You're girls. You're jealous little girls. What you do, you fat girls, oompa fat girls, what you do is you get very angry when you see slender women. Always angry. Slender women make you angry as hell. And that's part of your addiction. You cry fat shaming. Well, you know what? Men look at you and they are disgusted. It is disgusting. It is revolting. Your appearance is revolting. And fat isn't pretty. Fat's not beautiful. Fat acceptance is the biggest bunch of bullshit to ever come down the pike. And you need to understand that. So, fat girl, you need to grow up. You need to think about somebody besides yourself. And if you think I'm wrong, go on to a fat forum, particularly a weight loss forum, and look at how often you fat girls do it way more than fat men, use personal pronouns. Every sentence contains I, me, my, mine. You are fat-centric, you are food-centric, you are egocentric. And that is part of your food. You have rewarded yourself day after day after day after day with treats. I see what you eat. I've been watching you fatties for years. Don't deny it. I see what you put in your shopping carts. I see what you eat in restaurants. And I see how fast you eat. You've done this to yourself. And you don't care. Food means more to you. Food means more to you than your kids, than your spouse, and then your responsibility as a good citizen. You are a food-centric, egocentric baby. Grow up.